Hello, everyone. We're back and we have all of our players. So we're going to be excited to present to you the first semifinal match of this Hearthlytics Open number two. I am, of course, joined by Firebat. Would you say hello?
What up, everybody? I'm Firebat from Team Archon. Ready to cast. Sort of a new role for me, so don't make fun of me too much. But something I really enjoy. So I hope you
That's
guys
what
enjoy
I'm
it
here
too.
for. I'm here to draw all the criticism off of you.
There we go. All right.
But I'm glad to get in here into our game. We're going to see Warlock versus Priest. How do you feel about this matchup? I haven't seen too much Priest in these tournaments, so I don't actually know exactly how it fares.
Warlock versus Priest. Yeah, I haven't seen too much Priest either, honestly. And I play this game a lot, but I would have to give the edge to the Demon Lock. Priest sort of cut one Shadow Word Death lately, if not both Shadow Word Deaths. So they cut some of the removal for the big guys, and of course, Demon Lock has things like Doomguard, Melcanis, just threats that you want to be able to Shadow Word Death. Also, they could kind of snowball early. But looking at these hands, I'm starting to favor Priest a little bit more.
Oh,
What do you
man.
think about that?
I mean, I'm really liking this early start having that Wild Pyromancer Powered Shield. The other awesome play I can think of is the potential Shadow Word Pain onto Jiraxis on the board. I would be so pleased to see that.
That'd be a good play. That'd be a good play for sure. The Wild Pyromancer is really clutch here, especially in the face of double implosion. So that's a
Oh yeah,
sick, sick hand to have. Like he doesn't know his opponent's hand, but if he did, he would be smiling right now. That's for
yes.
sure.
Some players would play the Wild Pyro on turn two, but here he's going to hold on to it
Oh,
until it can stick a little bit better.
whoa!
Decides that he needs to get the ball rolling, but
No,
there's
what are
Light of
you
the
doing?
Naru, so
What are you doing?
he has clear in the future.
No, somebody tell him he's priest. He's got to wait for his opponent to do stuff and react. Oh, he forgot. You're
What's
not
also going to be
Hunter,
great
man.
here is the mind control that we don't see in every priest deck, but up against something like Mal'Ganis or even Doomguard. I think it's going to be really powerful since you can attack on that same turn you steal the Doomguard.
Oh man. All right, so he's gonna go for the dark mount.
Ah, no.
He's not badass. He's not just like snap coin implosion for it. Just punish him for playing the wild pyromancer. Oh man, I would have liked to see that. That would have been
That'd be a
funny.
very risky implosion. And so it
You
ends
see
up being
this?
a little aggressive
Right.
for Phonetap.
He's got double Light of the Naru in hand, which could act as 3 damage for 1 mana. Instead, he plays the Alchemy out already. This is gonna open him up to removal.
And
We have the
use
implosion and the abusive sergeant here to finish it off, depending on what the roll is. Yeah, it's gonna be able to just coin that abusive sergeant and get in there, or you could even just coin the mortal coil to finish it off. Get a card draw out of the deal.
it's
Hmm,
definitely if you take out the abusive sergeant, it's going to be weaker to something like Holy Nova, which we see in his hand, which you
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of have to play around.
I guess that's why you got the pyromancer out there so early, is because he's sitting on the holy nova. Still, I don't know. I feel like whenever I play priest, I want to play it really slow. So we'll see how it turns out though.
Yeah, the Light and Nara would have been awesome to get those Light Wardens out as well. Just kind of build up the board and have the cheapest removal you've ever seen when you're not
Yeah,
playing old Soulfire Warlock. Uh,
definitely.
I mean, fortunately, he draws a minion because that's really what he needs to get out on the board. Right now, his hand is looking really tough with all these spells.
Yeah, for sure. It looks like just like a tap and then play an egg maybe, or play both the demons out there just so when you do finally draw your demon or void caller, it'll be guaranteed to get that Melganis because you get the demons out of your hand preemptively.
Yeah, you do not want to get the Mistress of Pain out when you have a
Yeah.
of a Mal'Ganis. That
Ooh,
would be
thoughts.
such
That
a
fits
rough
on
play.
curve to play with a Dark Cultist too. Ooh, Big Game Hunters is really good pickup. I'll handily take care of Melganis or any
Oh
of the
yeah.
giants or anything.
Fortunately, sitting on a lot of answers for the big minions, especially Mal'Ganis. Mal'Ganis is going to be so sad. He's either going to be taken control of or destroyed by 1 3 mana answer, which is even better than the value you get from the Void Caller.
This turn is nuts. He's going to be able to Loatheb, which is a 5/5 and stops the spells, so his opponent can't use any removal against it, and then he's going to be able to Power Overwhelm in the egg and trade that in. Ooh, he's going to choose to go a little bit slower here and go with the Implosion tap.
Hey, yeah, really lucky to get the 3 damage at least, so
Yeah,
that you can trade in the Mistress of Pain. You keep it alive for now, and a
that's
little
why
risky.
he did Implosion before tap, so just in case it does get a 3, he can get out the Abusive Sergeant, and then he misses his tap, though. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I would have liked to see Lothab come down and get the 4/4 out there. Just have 9 pressure on the board. Face him down nothing. Would have been really sick.
Yeah, that would have been a really powerful board. Only really weak to Akanai Circle. But you can't Akanai Circle, of course, when the Lothab's out.
Yeah. And he's down in Alkanai. Now the egg's taken away from him. He missed his opportunity to activate it, and the egg's like, screw you, man. I'm out of here.
So, and we can see Priest pop the egg if he gets an Akanai out later, either with the Circle, with the Hero Power, even Light of the Naru.
Yeah, for sure. Good old egg and Priest.
I'm going to start running it in my deck.
Alright, are we seeing just probably tap and Lothab? Lothab trades very favorably with the Cabal.
Yeah. You know what trade even better? The Hungry Dragon, which I'm so excited about.
Good old Hungry Dragon. Yeah, I mean, he could Hungry Dragon in the games.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting to see. But for now, unfortunately, we're stuck on Goblins and Gnomes, even though it has been a very fun expansion. And it does seem like the Lothab play is pretty clear. Doomguard is just way too risky of getting rid of some very important cards. And so you hold on to that for a very long time at this point.
Yeah, you only have a few cards in your hand that hold any like real value, like long-term substance. So Doomguarding and possibly dropping one of those would be very, very bad.
Yeah, if you lose a Mal'Ganis or at this point a Sylvanas, it could be really, really rough in the long term. And we're going to see exactly what you talked about, the Lothab and tap. Which sets up a pretty weak play for the Priest this turn.
Yeah, I mean, you can't do anything. He's gonna go over to Shadow Death. He has Big Game Hunter for Mal'Ganis, so this is fine.
Yeah, fortunately had just barely enough mana to pull it out.
Let's just go in face. Get there.
Eventually the Priest can do enough damage. It's always one of the fears of when you're playing Priest, though, that you're just going to run out of damage.
I mean, if he gets another Alkanite, he's got 6 damage burn just chilling there with the Light of the Narus.
It's pretty nice.
And then 2 from the Hero Power. So he's desperately... If he gets Alkanite, he's got 8 damage reach, which is getting there pretty close if he continues tapping and stuff.
He's also facing up against the anti-Keelbot and, of course, the invulnerability from Mal'Ganis that should be out at some point. We know it can be dealt with, but Decade might be relying on it. Yeah, that's going to be a really nice heal.
What's that 3-cost card in the middle of his hand?
Big Game Hunter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of tough to see the cards when they're upside down up there, but I believe it's a Shadow Flame and the Drax at the very end are over the inside.
Yeah,
and very helpful, of course, of our spectator to give us the inside scoop.
I think you just pop Light of the Naru here. Get the I can't Light Warden. Good. And then you can tell I know what I'm talking about.
Heal to get the 3/2, which is going to be able to at least take the Abusive Sergeant. If he doesn't clear it, then trade in the anti-Keelbot.
I can't get over the fact that the Alkanai is dead, man. Like, he's got 2 circles and another Light of the Naru, and no Alkanai still. Oh.
Yeah, those early cards really got dealt with, the Wild Pyro and the Akanai, and so I mean, Decade has a lot of cards to play, and I feel like Phonetap might run out of answers eventually.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird.
He's gotten in so many taps, and with all the healing from the anti-Keelbot, and of course the Draxus in the future, he's really safe to get through his deck, and so that's why we're seeing so many options from him right now. Do you feel like you go for a Mal'Ganis here? It's very risky and, of course, weak to Big Game Hunter, but...
It's weaker to Mind Control. That's what I'm afraid of.
Too.
Yeah. And
do you expect every Priest to have a Mind Control?
Yeah, I think every Priest runs one Mind Control. But, yeah, I like tapping first, seeing what your options are. I think clearing's a little too early. You're at 23, and he's a Priest. But they can definitely do some scary things with Light Warden. So I think I would have just killed the Light Warden with the Abusive Sergeant, went face with the heal bot, developed an egg, taking it really slow, used the power of Whelming Shadow Flame maybe to develop my 4/4 out of the egg next turn. I think it might be a little bit too aggressive of a clear, but we're going to see what happens.
Yeah, right now we're not seeing a way to pop this egg, but at least
Dr. Boom off the top.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Of course, it's just going to go down to the Big Game Hunter. That's been such an important piece of tech we see in all these decks.
Then, the Boombots could activate the egg. It could punish him.
Ooh. Wow, this could be an insane turn for Decade. if he takes out a Boombot and is able to get the 4/4 out.
Yeah, here goes. Nope. Well, for the face, though, I mean, you can't really even complain.
Yeah, that's true. Phonetap is going to have to find some more threats coming out here soon, or else I feel like that kid's going to be able to take it kind of out of control. Do you think we're going to see the mind control on Sylvanas here?
It just dies on board, though. That's the problem. So you mind control it, and then he kills it for free, and you take an egg.
So do you send in your Boombot and then Holy Fire?
Yeah, off the top, the Holy Fire makes it a lot better.
That's pretty nice here.
There we go. Yeah. Otherwise, I had no idea what we were going to do this turn, but the Hearthstone gods are like, here you go, do this. So we got there. And now you just got to not pop this egg.
Yeah, that would be... I feel like the best case is getting at least 2 on that big game hunter, and then you're actually looking... I mean, pretty solid on board. Your hand is still really, really lacking substance. It's like you're going up against Five Guys Burger when you're sitting on a Big Mac, and I don't know. It's feeling rough. I mean, you've got something there, but is it going to be enough to really keep you going?
Yeah, not enough calories in that one. Oh, he's gonna mind control before doing the Boombot. I think mind control is good. If you run the Boombot in, it pops the egg. Then I think mind control is good. I'm not so sure I like this.
Yeah, or if you can. Oh, he didn't
take an egg. Yeah, he didn't even run the Boombot. So he's gonna be able to run in the big game hunter and in the Void Walker and deal with Sylvanas, and you get an egg, which you can't really use.
Yeah, not yet.
If the Boombot had killed the egg or the big game hunter, because if it kills the big game hunter, then there's like so much on the field that you're probably gonna steal. Or if it kills the egg, I mean, there's so much on the field you're probably gonna steal something. If it kills the big game hunter, then he has to play a card out of hand to potentially deal with Sylvanas, and it could really just cock block his turn. But
It's interesting. So, do you feel like? I mean, do you feel like he's just gonna attack into the Sylvanas?
Yeah, you just kill Sylvanas.
Yeah, I'm curious why he hasn't done it yet. He's waiting until the rope here.
I would kill Sylvanas and probably just develop Jiraxis. You got a free turn to do it. And
yeah, only taking 4 damage.
Yeah. What is? Yes, that one. No, don't do that one. No, fuck.
Okay. He's still gonna develop Jiraxis.
Okay. I guess. This is a lot of disrespect towards this priest. He doesn't swing. Why don't you?
Yeah, I definitely don't understand why he didn't swing. Maybe he ran out of time.
Yeah, he had to have run out of time.
Animation is kind of long, and he was roping, so that might have been it.
I see. It took too long for him to make the decision here. Now he's got to deal with Sylvanas with the Dark Bomb, I guess, next turn. So he's forcing himself to have to play Dark Bomb next turn. Taking that 5 extra damage with your heal bot already down is kind of scary too, because you never know what they might have.
Yeah, the Akanai double, or he only has 1 light now, so it wouldn't quite be good enough first. But I mean, even with the Holy Fire, he's got some damage in his pocket, and it looks like the healing is down. He has invulnerability from Mal'Ganis potential, but we know the Phonetap's just going to snipe it as soon as it comes down.
Yeah, he's got 19 damage right now, so that's pretty close to getting the lethal in. But I definitely think you just trade in Big Game Hunter, just Dark Bomb that guy, swing into the Wild Pyromancer, and then make a dude.
Yeah, making a 6/6 is really going to kind of solidify your position.
The 2-drop guy out there is really solid too. The Mistress of Pain. Then with the Power Overwhelming, you can use it to heal next turn. So definitely want to get that guy out there. So
yeah, I expect to see the Mistress of Pain and the Inferno. And that's exactly what you were talking about. He just took a little while to decide it, but you might as well take your time when it comes down to these stakes. At least getting a minion is gonna be good at some point, since it feels like Phonetap's been really light in that front. He's been sitting on quite a few spells in his hand for most of the game.
And he's just short of lethal with 2 off lethal, and that's the plight that Priest has to deal with. They can never kill you. Just it's so hard.
Even with an Akanai, he would have been 1 mana off of lethal.
Yeah.
But he
It's
still does have an
ridiculous.
Akanai, so that's something we have to remember. With double circle and Akanai, he could come back on the board if Decade gets just a little bit too greedy with what he throws out there. He does have the potential for the free Mal'Ganis in the future, though, if he goes for the Void Caller here.
He can use Mal'Ganis right now to pump up the Mistress of Pain, and then he can go the Infernal in, and then the Mistress of Pain into the 1/2, or they just face into the 1/2, and then Mistress of Pain him in his opponent in the face. Just get that 3 heal. Wouldn't even be bad.
Yeah, you lose the Mistress, but you're able to clear the Belcher, and you have your Mal'Ganis on board. You have to expect Phonetap to have a response, I think, just because he has so many cards he's been sitting on forever and not playing. So I think he is aware that there's going to be a big Game Hunter or a second Shadow Word Death.
Yeah, definitely. He's got to fear something. Those circles have just been sitting there so dead and useless. And then Mistress of Pain getting the heals. Now he's just fully out of range of anything that the priest could possibly dish at him. Besides the double Mind Blast trick. But unfortunately we don't get to see that one. We don't get to see Big Game Hunter double Mind Blast.
That would be an insane end of the game. That would feel so satisfying as a priest. At least he does have the Big Game Hunter, but he doesn't have any way to deal with this this Infernal, and he can't even draw with
another one next turn too.
Oh yeah.
They don't stop. He's got to find a light bomb or something.
Yeah, Draxus puts you on a pretty rough timer because of the value from that hero power as well as the huge weapon.
So how do you feel about Holy Fire face? Hope you top deck either second Holy Fire or your last Alkanai.
Oh man, it feels terrible. Like looking at the board, it feels like you just want to Holy Fire the Infernal, but you're right. If you do that, you're probably just not going to win.
Yeah, he's up to just heal himself.
Huh. It's safe, and you don't expect to die within the next couple turns.
I guess.
You could, if you get the other second Holy Fire, you probably have 2 turns to use it, especially with the Light of the Narrow on yourself.
Oh, we also know he's got the Mistress of Pain in play too, so he's just gonna heal out of the lethal range with the Mistress of Pain. Anyway.
Right.
Yeah. He has a power overwhelming for it too, so he can heal a ton.
Oh man. And he has Doctor. I mean, he can go Doctor Boom, Power Overwhelming, and Infernal, and just take over this board. It's only weak to Akanai Double Circle, which we could see come out here. I mean, it's going to be one of those last 10 or so cards he's sitting on. But even then, the odds don't look that great.
Yeah, we're going to see the power overwhelming just to make sure there's no way he can die. Oh, no, never mind. He moused over it. He's thinking about it. I'd like to see it. Yeah, let's get that guy there. Just be at full health.
Right.
You're just satisfied to be at full health.
You get the symmetry here of the Infernal Boombot, Dr. Boom. Oh, it's beautiful.
I mean, he knows he's on stream. He's got to show off. The full health and symmetry with 2 Infernals. Oh, great. Oh. One of them's damaged a little bit. The priest at this point should know he's screwed and just double Northshire, heal up the other guy's Infernal, get some card draw so he can get potential play, and also supports the symmetry. So I'd like to see that.
Oh yeah, you really need to heal the Infernal at this point. It's just gonna drive me crazy if you don't. And there it is. Good Phonetap.
I mean, I honestly think it's the correct play though. Just trying to find something to do with your hand because you don't have anything right now. You need to find the Alkanai, and then you can run off with both circles. So I would like to see Power of Woman to search for the Alkanai, because off Thought Steal, you're not going to find anything that's useful. Yeah. Also, off the heal, he could have also gotten Light Bomb if he runs it.
Yeah, Light Bomb would be real nice here. At this point, isn't going to have the chance. Is he going to get the...
There's nothing he can draw. He's dead.
Yep.
But, I mean, draw the cards anyway, right?
Yeah, you see what he has in his deck, even though you're not.
Sun Fury Protector. He's gonna go for it. No, this opponent doesn't run Sun Fury Protector, probably.
Nah. Yeah, you can Mortal Coil it, but you're still looking into the 19 damage from the big minions, and then the extra 4 from everything else he has. You have 5 in the hand from the Doom Guard. You can Light of Narrow yourself, but you're gone.
Yeah, he's got 23 on board with 7 more out of hand. Yeah.
Well,
that's gonna be game 1.
Yeah, pretty good from Decade.
I really think the game was decided early on when that Alkanai was just thrown out there to die as a tempo play. you're sitting with like Alchemy and then the removal in your hand. And like the purpose of running those cards is you play the Alchemy at a later point in the game and you can use those cheap removals to catch back up because it's such cost efficient at that time. So I would have really liked to see him hold on to that Alchemy a bit longer because he was just missing an Alchemy all game.
Yeah. And against Demon Lock, there's always a chance that you're up against just a huge board. If he gets his Infernals, if he has Mal'Ganis, that you really need a circle or two to come back. And by throwing away one of your chances, we saw he drew down to maybe 5 cards left in his deck and still didn't find it. There's always
Yeah.
that chance. And like you said, it was just too risky to go for the tempo play when he might have been able to play it safer, slower, and end up stabilizing.
Yeah, and you know Demon Lock has tons and tons and tons of removal. They got 2 power overwhelmings. I'm pretty sure they still run 2 dark bombs, and they got 2 implosions that we saw. So like just so many ways that they can remove your creatures early game. That just waiting and letting them take the initiative first so that they can't implosion your creatures and force you to be in an awkward spot so that you're always just reacting to them, I think works a lot better as the priest.
What's nice is that we could see Phonetap's Priest again, because he hasn't won a
Yes.
game with it, and that's going to be the last Demon Lock we see from Decade. Of course, we still could see Phonetap's Warlock since he has it now. Decade is going to be forced onto either his Paladin or his Shaman for these next 2 games. We're going to be into the game in 5 seconds, loading up here, and
I think we're gonna see the priest again. Priest does pretty well against Paladin and Shaman.
well, there it
Yeah.
is. You called
There
it.
we go.
Up here we have Decade on Paladin, repping no team, unfortunately, but hopefully he does well enough that someone notices him. And here's Phonetap on Team Thunderbuddy. And that looks like a pretty slow start from Paladin, but it's kind of what you expect from Paladin.
Oh, he
Okay.
mulliganed away True Silver.
Yeah, when you're up against something like like a priest that can play that, there's
I'm
3
gonna
mana
be-
minions.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I keep True Silver against every deck. Like, except
Yeah.
maybe Face Hunter. Like, True Silver is a good card, man.
Yeah, for sure. There are so many cards in priest that you can kill with it, and he drew back into it fortunately, but he didn't want it apparently. He has Wild Pyro, Muster for Battle for the amazing 5 mana combo of destroying your own board.
We do see Wild Pyromancers, maybe, and 2 equalities. Maybe this is a Control Paladin. It's interesting.
He still
was
does
just
have
like-
a couple of the board control elements like Muster for Battle and Quartermaster. We see the combo in his
Sure.
hand. If that is a Quartermaster, they get so
it's
squished
a
together.
hybrid deck. It's a Harrison Jones.
Oh, all right. Well, that's
We
going to
saw
get some great
Quartermaster
value.
in the mulligan, though.
Right. Yeah, we did. We're going to see the Harrison Jones value after the Thought Stolen Weapon.
Definitely. It always hits. No Holy Nova, no Alkanized Circle, but thankfully no Coin Quartermaster.
Yeah, that would be the worst case scenario. But right now, it's still looking like a pretty good start for Decade. He had some really awkward minions in his hand, mulliganed it all away, including that True Silver. I suppose he just threw it away, hoping he could get something like a Muster for Battle for the really strong opening. And
I like
looks
this
like he
play.
made it.
The Blade Master doesn't die on board, which is really good. Unfortunately, it's going to be answered with either Equality or True Silver Champion here. I wouldn't feel bad just blowing the first Equality. You got the second one in your hand. You can just use this one as a tempo Equality.
And Priest doesn't have that many big minions on his side.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're talking about Dr. Boom, then there's, I guess,
They play your minions.
as well. Sorry, I think I'm gonna cut out there for just a second. But yeah,
So I guess the real question is, if you're going to commit to the Equality play, then you're not playing around Holy Nova. So to play around Holy Nova, it's better to trade in your board.
oh, interesting.
Developing
He doesn't
card
want to deal with it at all right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure I like this that much. If he had Holy Nova, he could really, really, really get punished by doing this play.
Yeah. The issue with leaving minions alive against a priest is they get so much value from healing, from shielding, and I mean, even right now, if you threw out the Vol'jin, then you have a really easy trade onto that, taking out that Sludge Belcher.
Ooh. He's got the Aldor, but I think you want to save the Aldor. There's a really sick combo with the Aldor Cabal on Tyrion later in this matchup.
Oh,
Because this
man.
matchup always goes really long, and then you just Aldor Cabal their Tyrion, get that weapon. He's got the Jones to respond to it, though, so we could see that sequence at some point. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah. So we could see like a Shadow Word Death on Tyrion into the Harrison. Oh no, of course from the Paladin. So he's not going to have access to that unless we see some crazy lower Rock or Cho play. Because anything can happen. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. It's game 2. Game 2 is always the crazy one, right?
Oh yeah. That's something we're allowed to make up.
Yeah. And I mean there's Paladin shredders too. They get lore walker up that. Things happen. This is Hearthstone, man. It's crazy.
I'm really disappointed that we didn't get to see the Wild Pyro muster for battle. It's second only to the Wild Pyro Unleash the Hounds.
Man, you just want to watch the world burn. He would be so upset. He's in a tournament in a high pressure situation, and you're like, yeah, we should just Wild Pyromancer, unleash the dudes. And he would cry. He'd be so upset.
Man, poor Decade. Poor Decade. It looks like he's going to Space Drive for now. But he doesn't have a really great way to take care of... I mean, he could trade everything into the Injured Blade Master. And even if he alters it, he's still going to lose his entire board. Seems like he's just using Alder to...
It still trades into his the minions still, but the 1/2 taunt's going to stick a lot better. And the Aldor itself can bump into the Blade Master now.
Yeah. So, that's true. He's going kind of for the aggressive play, just leaving his things on the board, pressing in for damage. I feel like it's so vulnerable to a future Akanai Circle combo or a Holy Nova, like you were mentioning before.
Yeah, I really... Like, the one turn before, I think Equality could have been used. I'm not sure which line's better. But as far as we've seen, this Injured Blade Master just keeps accumulating value. And the Equality in his hand, I don't know how great it is against Priest that much later in the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he didn't use it earlier on to clear out the board, which I agree with you, might have been a very strong play. At this point, he's just been trying to play catch-up against these high health minions on the board. Sludge Belcher was a very strong play here against just so many little things that are going to be running into it.
True Silver definitely should come out here, I think. Just True Silver, probably just make a dude. No reason to play the Owl. You want to save the Owl for Sylvanas, which every single Priest runs because of the Sylvanas Shadow or Death combo for Mind Control, and just Sylvanas is such a good card in Priest. So, yeah, swing there, and then probably just hit it with the Aldor, and then the rest go face. Just keep getting that incremental damage pushing through.
Mm-hmm. You keep on making the 1/1s as well, because if Priest doesn't commit, a Wild Pyro or Holy Nova, then you get to keep him on the board.
Yeah, and you just always have that threat of Quartermaster just completely blowing him out, which is crazy.
Yeah, he definitely has a potential to stick around on this board, but I feel like some of his decisions haven't led as much to his victory as they could have. Is he going to go with the Alder at least? Oh, no.
Yeah, he's trading off the dudes.
Interesting.
Well, it plays around Holy Nova.
Yeah,
true. Weird to start playing around Holy Nova now. You don't play around it for 3 turns, and then you're like, he's probably going to top deck it this one, so we'll play around it now. But he makes the read that his opponent's going to top deck it. Decent Cabal value. Like, not the worst, not the greatest. Looks like he's just gonna trade and heal, get a Thought Steal out. Playing his hand extremely slowly.
Yeah, against a Paladin you can afford to, as long as they're not throwing down anything too frightening, because as long as you keep on drawing and have the answers in your hand, then that's a Priest's strength in the end, is just being able to respond to threats. And right now, Phonetap's doing a great job of it.
Yeah, he learned his lesson from last game. He played his cards too quickly last game and got punished. Now he's slowing down a lot.
Definitely, much more. He also hasn't had the board clears coming out. I mean, he's really hoping to get a Holy Nova or a Circle soon, since he's beginning to lose his health.
Oh, definitely losing some health.
14 HP right now. I mean, of course, it's not the scary situation to be in, especially with another Sludge Belcher in your hand that you got off of the Thought Steal, which is going to be some really solid value.
Yeah, problem with Sludge Belcher here, though, is Jones can just kill it for free.
Yeah.
That doesn't feel good.
Not the best time. You do need some way to take care of the either the Jones or throw down a taunt, because eventually you're going to run a little low on health.
Breaking up the Aldor Cabal combo.
And Sludge is
and the Sludge.
Pretty safe.
Very safe. That's the safest play you could make.
Yeah, that's for sure.
By far. Wow.
Do we see the Equality now, just to try and chip through what he has on the board, since this
His hand is so dead. He's trying to push for these tempo to push for damage, and he's sitting with 2 Zombie Chows, 2 Equalities, 2 Wild Pyromancers, and an Owl.
Oh, man.
He's got nothing going for his hand.
He needs to steal the Akanai through some Sylvanas nonsense, and then get his double Chows off for the endgame burst, maybe? But those those
What is
double
this
cows
play?
are pretty useless right now. I mean, he can use
Yeah.
them to trade for board control, but eventually they're just going to heal the priest back up to a very healthy amount.
Yeah, definitely in his lineup, he was expecting aggro with this Paladin deck. Otherwise, there wouldn't be the two Chows and the Wild Pyromancers and stuff. So this is definitely geared towards beating like Hunter and Mech Mage and that sort of thing. He wasn't expecting the Priest. The Priest is getting in there.
Yeah, yeah, and he's doing some work. I mean, it's really nice to see Phonetap bringing out pretty much the most underrepresented class in the game, and it's kind of it's had its strong moments, but it feels like Goblins and Gnomes hasn't been its peak. We're seeing the silence now, so like you said, not waiting for Sylvanas, not waiting for the Vol'jin either, which can be a really powerful play to bring it back down to 2 health.
Definitely, definitely.
We're just
Yeah,
seeing
I feel like the Paladin is just being a little too quick here. His hand doesn't have anything going for him that supports how aggressively he's playing.
Yeah, he's not following this up with anything at all.
I think he should have played his hand a little bit slower, let the Priest develop, let the Priest hit him in the face. He's got the equality to take the board back, reset it, and then play from there. And, I mean, he's got the life total to spare. You can let the Priest hit him in the face all day. Priest is not going to burst him down from 25.
Yeah, true. When you're sitting on 2 equalities and 2 wild pyromancers, then I feel like you can let your opponent overextend as opposed to just trying to fight for the board control with whatever minions you have left.
Yeah. It looks like Cabal maybe coming down in an Alchemy circle. He is going to just kill everything. So he's had enough of this Paladin extending into the board. He's taking care of business.
Ah, there it is. So he's finally grabbed back board control for what feels like the first time in quite a few turns, but yeah, I think he's going to be able to keep it looking at Decade's hand.
Yeah.
Sludge Belcher is the only substantial minion, and that's going to go down to a hero power and one or two of these minions. Or he could get a Shrinkmeister, which you don't expect to see, but Shrinkmeister combo on a Sludge Belcher would also be quite amazing.
That would be very amazing. You could, honestly, if you just like Sludge Belcher dudes. No, you don't want to mind control that. Never mind. I'm talking crazy talk. I need to be sapped.
Sap Firebat. No, never. We're gonna keep you here and just kind of to figure out what Decade's gonna do, because I think I'm lost. I think he's kind of lost too. Is his hand looks sad.
He's got like no good options at all. I guess this is what we've come up with.
Heal your opponent for 5.
And like that equality I talked about earlier is still in his hand. Like he had an opportunity to get huge value out of it, push a lot of tempo, and like it was like turn 4. And a lot of players, they just really don't want to use equality naked. But I think it would have been really, really strong to use the equality just to trade in the dudes with that injured Blade Master. I think I healed up well.
There might be a mentality that like if I don't kill a Ragnaros or a Dr. Boom with equality, then it's not worth it. That might have been what he was thinking, but it's definitely incorrect here, just because he could have had the board so much earlier and had not been sitting on double equality in his hand.
Wonder why he doesn't just kill the slime with the Alchemy. His opponent's gonna kill it with whichever one is better for his opponent to kill it with at the time, or kill it with muster.
Yeah, that's true. He could have attacked, and so he's letting his opponent take the potentially better trade, which is probably a mistake. It might be the same in the end, but yeah, I think Muster is pretty good here. You have the potential for Pyro Muster.
Again, the Pyro Muster.
Pyro Muster, let's see it, boys. Well, Decade's not going to humor me, probably for the better, since this is a pretty large open tournament that has come down to some very high level players.
Definitely. I don't want to see it though. The more you talk about it, the more I want to see this Pyro Muster. Like the famous Pyro Muster. It needs to happen. We gotta. Oh man.
We've seen, who was it? It was Tides who did the Pyro Unleash. We've seen Tides pull it off, so now we need someone new. Maybe just Tides again.
We'll just invite him to the event just to come in for one game and just Pyro Muster. And just walk out. I'm done. Pyro Muster.
This is a really, really nice play from Phonetap. He's gonna get 2 cards off the
Oh, that is the draw right there.
Oh man.
That top deck is huge. That is. Yep, the Paladin is like, well played. I'm done. Lay on Hands is really good though.
Yeah, he gets the 1 card that could refresh it. If that had been like a 3rd zombie Chow, then I think he might have just
Yeah, he would have bet ton.
Ended it there.
Yeah, he would have tapped out to Phonetap.
And Sylvanas is going to be really strong for getting the board control back in future turns. He has the Consecrate as well. So he did finally get some potential responses.
Yeah, he has so much health. Hopefully his opponent should just hit him in the face with everything and just hero power himself. Just play around that equality combo. Yep, that looks like that's what he's going to do. There's no reason to commit anything more to the board here.
Yeah, if you're not planning to die or kill your opponent anytime soon, then keeping your hand strong is going to be the best way to end it here. I mean, Decade's got to feel really, really lucky that he was able to get his hand refreshed, and it looks a lot better than before. It's still pretty bleak for him, but getting just some bodies on the board is going to feel so relieving.
Headlights Justice, putting in 4 face damage.
Does he not? Yeah, he doesn't hero power because he could just draw 2 cards off of the Northshires.
Well, he can still draw 2 cards off the Northshires. He just runs in.
Yeah, if he runs into Cobble.
Yeah, so I think I would have liked to see a hero power there. I guess plays down maybe Circle for drawing even more cards, but at that point, you're drawing too many cards anyway. You're going to fatigue some.
Yeah.
So, I wouldn't mind seeing the hero power just start putting some damage on him, so maybe you can do just a naked Consecrate and kill the 1/2 Clerics. Right, we have a card obstructing our view.
Yep, the Alkanai Soul Priest is
alright, there we go. He's
there
back
for
down.
us.
Yeah. There's the Alkanai Soul Priest just standing up for a little bit, just saying hi.
So many cards. He's got to play something, or he's got to burn something next turn. And probably... Oh, he's going to trade in his Northshire so he doesn't overdraw.
Probably. Just going to get a Wild Pyromancer out there, start putting some pressure. Try and force a quality Consecrate before he commits any big minions like Dr. Boom or Vulcan.
Ooh, Black Knight really, really good here up against the Sludge Belcher. It's going to help him get back on this board.
Definitely. You just Black Knight Consecrate. Yeah, you have 2 equalities in your hand, you got 2 activators for equality, so it's a little sketchy, but looks like it's the way we're going.
Yeah, also
otherwise you're just
from dying.
Yeah, otherwise you're just behind on board, so I think it's something that kind of has to happen.
He's going for the goal of longest time ever holding on to 2 equalities, and I feel like he's pushing the record right now.
Yeah, I mean, they've been there since, like, opening hand almost.
Yeah, I think at least one of them. I mean, what's nice is he does have them now for the bigger cards, for the Dr. Boom, potentially a Ragnaros, and he is going to be able to get that value. It's just at that point he might be so far behind that Phonetap has enough cards he can continue to lay on the threats.
Yeah, maybe Phonetap's just going to think he doesn't run equality eventually. Just keep presenting situations where it's good, and he's like, man, he just doesn't run it.
I think because he's seen the Zombie Chows and the Wild Pyromancer, at least one of them, that he's probably expecting it.
He's got to be expecting the double.
I also like to note that Phonetap did successfully launch off the rocket, so that's definitely going to be plus 10 DKP in this raid. That's
good.
He's exhausting all of his options here just to make sure that Decade doesn't come back.
I feel like it's a misplay launching the rocket. It's like really BM.
Do you think you need to hold on to it?
You got to do it the turn you lethal them, right?
Oh, okay.
It's like the celebration victory thing. If you do it preemptively, you're just like, ha, I won. Get wrecked.
All right.
So he's already declared that he's won the game. And
but if you lose without, I guess at this point, if he loses too, then he of course didn't get off the rocket. So there's a lot of politics involved. I'll spare you guys details.
There's a lot of politics.
Ultimately, bad decision on Phonetap's part. I'll go with you on that one.
Oh, the stuff for the board is the Observer. It's not actually Phonetap. So our Observer is being BM, is what it is. Oh man, we got RJ being BMing.
Yep, he's the owner of Team Hearthlytics. By the way, guys, if you haven't checked out Hearthlytics.com, you can do so. I'm sure you guys have some time, considering this game seems to be going nowhere fast. And we have some pretty cool players there. Jab, who a lot of people know from the pretty successful.
Boom hits the board. We're gonna see the first equality come out now, maybe. Now you might be able to just big game hunter it and hold on to the equality a little bit longer.
Yeah, if you. What we're really hoping for is to hold on to the equalities here. Whatever else.
We just gotta hold it throughout all 30 cards of the game. We'll just kill each of the priest's last minions with equality. It's gonna be good. I'm excited.
You know what play I just got really excited for that I would love to see one day is a Sylvanas into Abusive Sergeant
Big Game Hunter?
into Big Game Hunter.
It's not bad. Demon
Let's
Lock can sometimes get that off because they run Abusive Sergeants and Big Game Hunters.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's really annoying when you play like Ancient Allure and they're just like Abusive Sergeant, Big Game Hunter, and Ancient Allure, or your Cenarius. That's
Pretty
pretty
nice value.
triggering.
Unfortunately, I don't think I've seen an Abusive Sergeant in Paladin recently.
Yeah, no.
Yes, in the
know.
Aggro Paladin we've seen it. Oh, there's the
Ouch.
Equality Consecrate.
Yeah, we get one of the equalities that gets some value. We don't have an activator for the other equality. I don't remember if we've used both consecrations. I know we used both Pyromancers. But,
I want to say there's just been one consecration. I believe it's
yeah,
just a second somewhere.
that's what I'm thinking too. So I'm gonna agree with you on that one. So we do have another activator for the equality. Maybe this strategy of just like saving equality forever and ever and ever is gonna work out here, and Priest will just fatigue itself because Priest is ahead on cards right now. Priest I think has 6 left, and the Decade looks like he has a bit more cards left than the Priest.
Yeah, he definitely drew pretty successfully off Northshire Cleric, but if he doesn't use that card advantage to push it on the board, then he's gonna end up playing too slow and maybe fatigue himself.
Yeah, it's definitely a fear. And Light Warden comes out. He's definitely trying to speed up how fast he's playing his hand. He's aggressively fighting for the board with that play.
That Light of the Naru combo is absolutely crazy. Like it's so cool to be able to see the Light Warden come out even if it damages them, and everything's gonna stay. I think the only way you don't summon a Light Warden is if you ping off a Divine Shield, because the minion is undamaged.
That's interesting, yeah. That makes sense, makes sense.
Yeah, but I mean, so much value out of just one mana, one card, just infinitely better than Holy Smite at that point, which is why we haven't seen it very often. Maybe one in a deck if you're running the Wild Pyro.
For sure, for sure.
So,
the
do you feel like
reverse synergy, Holy Nova? Yeah, might be too early, but this is your second Alchemy, so it might as well connect it with the second circle, right? You're not getting the value you want out of it, but you're getting the value you can out of it because you've already committed the Alchemy. So this circle, if you don't use it now and the Alchemy dies, this is your second Alchemy and the circle is going to be useless for the rest of the game. So I would definitely like to see him get it out of the way now and then develop his board behind it. So
yeah, that's what it's looking like to me as well, and I think he sees it. He has been sitting on this Vol'jin for forever. He's just waiting for a big enough minion to steal from, and I think if we see, I don't even know, because you can't do it against Sylvanas because you don't want to just feed a Vol'jin to the enemy.
Yeah, Sylvanas is probably just going to get mind controlled if he doesn't have a silence. And then that's going to force equality number 2, and then we'll see Vol'jin come down on Tyrion. And
that'd be very nice.
Yeah, it'd be Vol'jin Shadow or Death on Tyrion, and then the Tyrion weapon doesn't quite kill the Vol'jin, and it doesn't quite die to Big Game Hunter. And if the second equality is already down after on the mind-controlled Sylvanas, then maybe Vol'jin can just solo him.
Yeah, getting the 6 health on the Vol'jin is pretty nice.
Yeah, it's like
we haven't seen the Tyrion yet. It's really interesting that it hasn't popped up. I mean, I guess kind of lucky that you don't get until the end as opposed to the starting hand, but
yeah, for sure.
We've seen some key cards kind of holding off on Decade until now. The second Consecration as well. I'm sure he would love to play it at this point.
Sylvanas coming down. True Silver coming out.
If he played Sylvanas, it'd be pretty weak to Holy Nova and just attacking in with the
for sure.
with the Wild Pyro, just not feeling anything, or just mind control. Yeah, always have that option as well.
Yeah, I like this play better than Sylvanas, but I don't know if he's even right to play the True Silver because a lot of priests have been known to run like Blingtron and Harrison Jones, like Amaz has been running, and you could just get your True Silver completely erased.
Although if they do have Harrison, wouldn't you rather them Harrison your True Silver than your Ashbringer?
That's true. That's true. That's true.
If you think you can keep it, I mean, at this point, you might just want him to Harrison your Ashbringer because it's gonna fatigue him out.
Yeah, that's interesting. Something to think about for sure.
Blade Master out of range of the True Silver, which is really nice. And there's very strong draw.
Yeah, that's what we're looking for right there.
Unfortunately,
that guy
dies to the injured Blade Master.
Yeah, it comes back to life though.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. What's the worst thing you can get from a? I'm curious what the worst thing you can get from a Paladin Sky Column is.
At this
It seems
point in
like
the game,
most of the
summoning portal.
yeah.
I mean, he doesn't have enough cards in his hand to really benefit from summoning portal. I mean, sometimes summoning portal is like the nuts, right? But in this case, it's not gonna do much for him.
Yeah, maybe get out an extra card along with the Tyrion or the Sylvanas, but yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I think that's the trade we're going to see here. Probably a heal first that he has to trade in the minion at least, or you cobble the minion and trade in.
Yeah, there's a lot of 2/5s that you can potentially get, so we're gonna see.
Interesting. He uses a Shadow Word Death, which means he doesn't have it available if Tyrion comes down. Tyrion's also too small to Big Game Hunter.
I think I like pushing the 4 face damage here.
He goes for the safer play. Quartermaster not going to get much work done. Fortunately, he's way too small of a body at this point in the game.
I mean, he's got 12 damage with the Holy Nova, so if his opponent doesn't swing face with the True Silver, then that's going to be GG for Decade.
Yeah, he can swing face or he can kill either of the minions.
Yeah, yeah.
And he'll be fine with that. The only issue would be attacking the Cobble, which I don't think he'll do. And so he'll stay alive for now at 2 health.
That's why I like going face there. If he goes face there, his opponent's dead.
Yeah, you're very right. Of course, we would have seen a buffed up Silverhand recruit who might have been able to trade in. Since it was a Silverhand recruit you killed off.
Yeah, it trades in for the 2/3 though, and then you still die.
You're right. It would have been exactly.
Yeah.
Well, this seems like the best time to Vol'jin. It's probably going to prompt the equality after. Unless he just continues to trade.
Yes, now the Paladin needs to top deck Consecrate.
Vol'jin, such a powerful minion. Unfortunately, doesn't always find the right time to come through, but you're right now playing that 5-mana 6/5 and leaving your opponent open to Holy Nova. Really powerful.
There's the Tyrion.
And that's going to be the game.
Yeah, he's going to drop Tyrion, and he's going to get him mind controlled. And he knows it. He knows the mind control has been set out of the game.
Yeah, there's been one card on the left side of his hand forever.
And our friend the Equality from turn 4. It could have killed an injured Blade Master and something else that was really big.
Yeah, if he had been ahead on the board for a longer period during this game, he might have been able to find it, but in the end, we're going to see Phonetap and Decade both even now 1-1. And yeah, so let me scroll back up here and see what we have. That is Decade's Paladin out of it, so he still has his. Oh no, of course he can still win on his Paladin. I'm so used to the elimination as opposed to the conquest, so we can still see his Paladin, but that is Phonetap's Priest out. He still has to win on Warlock and Warrior.
So we have Paladin Shaman versus Warlock Warrior. Who do you think's favored?
You definitely can't do the Warrior right now. I feel like Warrior's just going to be so weak against either
Shaman
of these.
And Paladin, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Decade's still favored as far as lineups are concerned.
You're right. We're going to see the Paladin to the Warrior. I think staying on Paladin was a very safe bet, and I feel like you have a really good chance, especially if you can get a Quartermaster combo, get some minions out on the board. You might be able to pressure that Warrior enough.
And Acolyte of Pain, and the Harrison Jones to just punish the Muster for battle. It's pretty good.
He mulliganed away the Fiery War Axe.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. It's a spectator bug.
Yeah, okay. It looked like he did, but he drew a second one out of his mulligan, and that's going to be real nice to deal with whatever comes out here. An Elder Peacekeeper.
Elder is really good.
I feel like, and a Wild Pyromancer potentially.
We got the super mechanical Karen. That's always great against Warrior. Doesn't come out for a little bit though. Ooh, Geddon. Geddon's a really good tech card to help against Paladin and to help against Shaman.
Yeah. Do you coin Acolyte here?
Every time.
Just armor up? Okay, every time. Wow.
Every time. They can't kill it. There's no way that they can kill it besides like equalitying it. They do like make you only get 1 draw.
The turn 3 equality just to deny.
Man, I'm excited for Hungry Dragon in Control Warrior with the Acolytes. So you play Acolyte turn 3, And then you play Hungry Dragon turn 4, and then they get a 1-drop, and then you kill it with Acolyte of Pain, draw a free card.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be pretty sick.
I heard Crip's analysis, and it was a little out there, but it was talking about maybe getting a Raging Worgen out turn 3 and then enraging it off of the 1-drop. But I
Oh,
can
that's
see it
pretty
in
good too.
Warrior because you can have the a 2-drop Shield Bearer and then a turn 3 coin Hungry Dragon, and potentially take things out with the Shield Bearer, get some armor up. It's going to be, I feel like, a really, really strong control minion. I mean, potentially aggro as well. I think every deck might have some room for it.
All right, let's draw some cards. Get that Whirlwind.
Ooh, that would be real nice. Deathbite is kind of the next best bet. Unfortunately, it's going to be turn 5. By the time you could even pop the passive.
Yeah, which is too late if he has Quartermaster.
Definitely. We saw him mulligan it away, and unfortunately he doesn't have it yet. He has developed a really great control with these Silverhand recruits, but if they don't have any sort of buff, then eventually they're going to get whittled away.
Mm-hmm.
Playing the slow game here is pretty fine as a warrior. I feel like one of the issues is you just kind of get wrecked by equality when you play your big threats, and I feel like you kind of run out of them. What do you feel like is going to be key here for Phonetap to be able to win this matchup?
Yeah, exactly what you said. Since the big game, or since the huge creatures, when you plop them down, they get wrecked by equality and sort of stuff like that, it's just preservation of mid-game creatures. So you just can't give them free trades on your mid-game creatures. You have to make sure that they can get enough value that you can force out equality on your mid-game creatures. So if you can get, like, Belchers or whatever equality, and then they don't have equality to deal with his big guys, they'll win the game. I like this developing the Deathbite here.
Would you
I mean,
have
he didn't have
face?
any other options, but no, I think hitting the 1/1's fine.
Okay.
You're control warrior. You're gonna Alex Strauza him eventually. Like, you're
All
in
right.
no rush to deal face damage. So just kill the 1/1. Make sure you can get less or quartermaster value. Like it. Definitely taking the Jones value
nice
after
just in
swinging.
case. Yeah, you swing in. He just has the 2/2. That's not going to be very scary against your Harrison, and just getting 1 card off the Harrison is fine as long as you get rid of that True Silver. His hand is looking pretty meaty right now.
Yeah, that is a good hand. It's just got every option in the book here, except execute.
That's true, but he doesn't need it right now. He's fine
Yeah.
waiting until later for something like a maybe a Tyrion or a Sludge Belcher with
Right,
just a little
let's
bit
see
more.
what happens here. No Pit Lord. Pit Lord's the only one he can't deal with if he like death bites it.
Oh man,
Sure.
that'd be insane.
Yeah. Oh, I guess he could just cruel his Harrison Jones and trade into Pit Lord.
Yeah, it's true. He would get.
He can even deal with Pit Lord. What a player.
And
Ooh.
one of the weaker bodies you can pull off of that.
Yeah, he's definitely happy about that. Now his Harrison Jones gets double value, gets to take out 2 minions, or triple value, take out 2 minions, and take out a True Silver Charge, and draw a card. Quadruple value.
Holy cow.
What a guy.
That 1 card doing so much work there. And that's kind of the value you get. Like, it's a risk if you go up against a Warlock or something and you can never quite get the draw, or you draw off Draxus and fatigue yourself. But if you go up here, just draw 1 card with it, don't get too greedy, then we can see it paying off huge.
Taking out a True Silver Charge is huge. Because that's exactly what I talked about, how you gotta try and push your mid-game creatures to force them to have to quality consecrate or whatever on your mid-game creatures. Taking out that True Silver Charge is just one of the ways he uses to remove mid-game creatures. So it's just extending the value of your mid-game creatures. Now he just needs to kind of draw the mid-game creatures, but that'll come.
Yeah, that's
Sarah.
Whoa!
Oh, champ. Whoa.
I mean, the one deck that we would expect to see it in.
Yeah, we were talking earlier. You're like, who runs Ysera? It's like Phonetap, man.
Warrior.
He's got it.
But if there's any matchup you want Ysera in, it's against a Paladin. You need those really strong late game answers. If you're going against someone else, so like a priest, then it's just probably going to get mind controlled. But in this matchup, you're pretty safe to at least draw 1 card. If you can wait out the equalities, then potentially getting a little bit more value out of it.
Yeah, I like it a lot. And we're getting more draws off the Acolyte.
Oh, he's gonna overdraw that.
You could develop Fiery Works.
But if the slime goes into it, he's still gonna overdraw by 1.
No, he kills the slime though with the War X. You need
right.
to like.
You're right.
consecrate it. I don't think he's gonna consecrate just the Acolyte to
Just
make an
burn
overdraw.
card.
Yeah. I mean, cards are really important in this matchup, but still.
If he just goes for the axe and armor up, then that's probably going to be a really safe play.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind either. Both is fine. Like, Cruel Taskmaster's one of your best ways in the entire game to activate Grom, and one of the best ways in the entire game to activate Execute. So, fan of both. Oh, he already swung this turn.
Oh, you're right.
He
And
swung with the Death Bite.
If he attacks the slime in, he's going to overdraw one card.
We both need to be sapped.
If he burns, if he burns Alexstrasza, then that could be a really huge play here. Yeah. I mean, I think we're definitely going to see the attack in at least.
Sure.
To burn the card. I mean, you don't have any reason not to.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? The chat is so far behind us because of the minor stream delay that their criticism doesn't. It's in the past.
It's in the past. All right. We're gonna see what he fatigues here.
Supreme Kai just opened Gazlo as well. And
Shield Maiden.
Strong mid-game minion, which you were talking about, are really important to keep out on the board. I mean, it's no Alexstrasza.
Yeah, definitely.
It would have been really nice to have that combo here of potentially Shield Maiden, Shield Slam to deal with.
That would have been sick.
Culture.
Yeah.
Got a little greedy with the card draw there.
How do you feel about, like, potential... not Geddon's not good. Yeah, the problem with Geddon, though, is that the slime sticks, and then the slime persisting allows him to possibly just True Silver down your Geddon. Which, he's super flexible with his life total right now, because you haven't Alexed him yet. So, never mind.
Okay, there's actually a Taskmaster Execute combo. And there's honestly not that many things in Paladin you can do it to. You can't do it to Tyrion, of course, because of the Divine Shield.
Mm-hmm.
And he's probably going to play Sludge Belcher just so he doesn't overdraw again. Oh, no, he wouldn't overdraw because he's on 9 cards. You're right.
The Acolyte's good.
I played enough Freeze Mage with Acolyte back in the day that I just get so paranoid about burning everything. Yeah. You burn your Alexstrasza and you just slowly weep.
Yeah, that is rough. Gosh. I
mean, right now, we've been focusing so much on what Phonetap's doing because it feels like Decade just doesn't have too many strong plays. He had the piloted Sky Golem a while ago, and it didn't really amount to much. He has Tyrion, but he has to expect his opponent to have so many answers to it.
Yeah, I still think Tyrion's the play.
Okay.
As soon as you can, I think you just get Tyrion out there and start getting value off the weapon. That's one of the ways you really can kill all those mid-game creatures and then not have to use a quality consecrate on them.
Do you go Taskmaster Big Game Hunter?
That's pretty good. It is pretty good.
He doesn't. He can't kill it with the Shield Slam unless he trades in both of his minions and then armors up Shield Slams.
Yeah, that has to be like the only way you can kill it, right? And there's no Big Game Hunter targets besides Dr. Boom and Paladin.
Yeah. So. Yeah, that's true. And he's hopefully going to have an Execute by then or a Shield Slam, Shield Block. Yeah. That's what we're going to see.
He's got
BG.
2 Shield Slams and 1 Execute. So we have plenty of answers for Dr. Boom.
And the Brawl, of course. Brawl is really nice to answer that Dr. Boom since there's this chance of just a Boombot living.
He needs to find a Whirlwind or something for that Geddon too, so then he has Whirlwind Geddon to just deal with Unleash the Dude's Quartermaster.
Oh yeah, clearing the board after that would be devastating to Decade since he's really relying on that to get a real board presence. Zombie Chow too late once again. That's going to really help Phonetap stay alive here since he hasn't found his Alexstrasza. Keeping his health really safe and so that Zombie Chow just can't come down.
The weapon is huge. He's going to be able to put real face pressure on his opponent too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, interesting. He does go for the Zombie Chow, but that
is going to do reverse face pressure.
Well,
it is going to eat a weapon charge.
I don't really like that. Yeah, he needs a weapon charge. He still has another one.
Yeah, I don't know, but I think that Zombie Chow is just one of those cards you just tuck away and just pretend it's not there.
Yeah. Yeah, you draw it on turn 1 or you don't have it in your deck.
Yeah, in this.
And I mean, it's going to be a net 3 help to Phonetap. And when your opponent just got so much face pressure with the weapon, you're really happy to see that.
Yep.
Do you rag here?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Oh man. I think Dr. Boom's better, but
yeah,
I just think
maybe
flipping a 1/1 is Rag flipping a 1/1 just sounds pretty funny. But
Um,
this
do
way,
we
like, if
see
the
the equality
equalities.
here? Equality trade your dude into Dr. Boom?
Well, you know your opponent still has potentially Geddon. You know they have Grom. You know they have Rag, and you know they have Alex still. And you have 2 equalities or 1 now.
Uh,
I think
2. He
so.
hasn't used his first one.
Yeah, yeah. So he's got 2 equalities. He's still got 4 more bombs after this one. So if he spends 1 equality on 1 bomb, he has to catch all 4 in the other one. And plus, there's this Ysera that he definitely doesn't know about. So his opponent has an extra bomb on top of that. So I don't think you can afford to. Well, and then if you don't, but you know what both Cruel Taskmasters are used. If you knock off all the armor, then that removes Grom Shield Slam as an activator for Grom. So there's just Grom Whirlwind.
Yeah, but we haven't seen a whirlwind yet, so that's definitely a
Yeah.
possibility.
Maybe I think you just Aldor it though. Like maybe develop Sylvanas to prevent your opponent from just bomb training you. Because that's what you got to be worried about is you have to put something on the table so that they can't just be like Dr. Boom into Rag into Ysera into Geddon, like just all one after another. So I'd like to see Aldor Sylvanas. Yeah, there we go. I called it.
Okay.
Maybe I'm good at this game.
Your wish is his command. Yeah, maybe Firebat knows a thing or two about Hearthstone. I know you guys probably haven't heard of him. He's a really kind of unknown up and coming player.
Yeah, I'm just trying to work my way in.
I was very generous to give you a chance.
Oh, thanks, I appreciate it.
I got you. So we know the worst play here is Rag. So we can cross that one off the list.
Good. You just go down the line.
Exactly. That's honestly how I play. I'm like, well, this would be stupid. So let's do something else.
Let's do something just a little less stupid. There we go.
It's much better than making like a play that you feel might be good and then realizing later that it was totally dumb. Just think of the thing that Twitch chat will yell at you for, and then just do the opposite.
True. All right, what are we doing here? If the Boombot hits it, then
he's feeling pretty good. Doesn't mind giving up the 1/2.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's unfortunate.
Do you shield slam just to keep anything else from getting? Oh, I guess Fire War Axe.
Yeah, you just Fire War Axe. Yeah. You can even just Geddon. It keeps the bomb train going, which is really what you want to do. If your opponent never has initiative, they're always just forced to deal with your bomb, deal with your bomb, deal with your bomb. Then you're just gonna win the game. So I'd like to see a Geddon slam down. Yeah.
There it is.
Good.
And yeah, he has so much to back it up as well. He isn't that low on health, and even if he does fall lower, he has Shield Maiden. He has an Alex Straws in here as well. And things are looking kind of bleak. I mean, he has the equalities again. Decade really loves to just hold on to those. Even though he just drew that second one, it feels like he ends up with 2 equality in his hand and nothing on the board.
Yeah, there's really a hole the Paladin's in right now.
Do you just take the 7 to the face and then really hope he doesn't have a whirlwind?
No, you're not gonna have enough damage, and you're never gonna be able to fight back on the board just because you know how many bombs he has left. So, because the ones that Control Warrior just always runs. I think you have to Equality Consecrate, hit him in the face, and then hope to get some more damage here, and hope maybe his only bombs are 9-drops, and then when he's playing a 9-drop, he's not gonna armor up, and you have the potential to kill him. Because right now he's set up lethal.
Oh, that's 6 damage, or 6 health left. Feels bad, but I mean, we know right now he could turn it into 16 health with just 2 cards from his hand.
He's got the Shield Maiden, which is really the difference maker here. Otherwise, like, if he could force him in a situation, which what he's trying to do is force him in a situation where if he plays a bomb, he could die. So he's forced him to just have to, like, armor, shield block, and develop a weapon or something so that he has a chance to get back on the board when he draws another creature.
I believe that's the Ysera paradox, where it's battle cry, lose the game the next turn.
Yeah, that's what he's trying to create. Phonetap, very ballsy here.
Whoa, but he's seen both consecrates, so he knows that that's really the only thing that would be an issue here, because he knows there's not going to be a Hammer of Wrath or Holy Wrath, Avenging Wrath. A lot of angry cards that could kill him, but
you never know, man. It might be a tech Avenging Wrath in here. It just takes the game next turn.
Hey, yeah, I would win it.
He still needs the whirlwind to try and set up for having a lethal here.
Has to use the board clearing combo on just one. It is going to bring the board back, but we just, like you said, see so many bombs here.
Wait, he's thinking about holding the weapon. If he holds the weapon, he's dead to Grum Shield Slam.
Oh, it didn't take off.
Rip
that armor.
Pepperonis.
And Phonetap sees it immediately. There it is. Yeah. Phonetap taking the wins on his warrior and on his priest. And this was the matchup that we felt like favored the Paladin so heavily.
Yeah, definitely favors the Paladin a lot, especially being the slower one with 2 equalities, I think. But we didn't know about the Ysera at the time. The Ysera definitely swings it a little bit more towards
and
the
Baron Geddon was
and
really
Baron Geddon's really good. There. Cards that haven't been seen too much in Control Warrior lately. But, yeah. Warrior takes an unfavorable matchup.
Yeah,
upsets, man.
It was a really strong performance there from Phonetap. He has his Warlock left, which is actually the deck we haven't seen, and
maybe it's Zoo.
See Decade, maybe it's Zoo. I think I played 1 game against Zoo for the past entire month of play, all of February.
But
so Zoo.
Yeah, but the God Killer guy, he finished #1 legend with Zoo last season. He's trying to bring it back. He's bringing back the cancer.
Staying true to his name.
So yeah, maybe we'll see that. Maybe it'll be Handlock. I personally have been playing Handlock a lot lately, and Life Coach has been playing Handlock. And then of course there's the ever popular Demon Lock, which I think is the most common Warlock.
Yeah, it's very likely, especially since it's seen pretty much everywhere on ladder too. It seems like it's just kind of easy to pick up when a lot of other people are playing it, and you don't have to risk a very unknown deck. But we could always definitely see another Warlock. It's kind of cool that it's such a versatile class. When you see Paladin, no one's bringing a shotgun into a tournament. And if they do, like I casted a tournament last year, and we had a guest from Asia come over, and he's very highly ranked on the server. He brought a shotgun in, he just got absolutely laid out, and just didn't work at all. But hey, Warlock has a few more archetypes, and see, there's the Shaman though. And I feel like Shaman's really strong with the Hex on Alganis and the
Shocks on the 3/4 Void Color dudes.
Yeah, or on the Nerubian Eggs as well.
Yeah,
so many answers. But it's Handlock. Okay.
Yeah, we see Giants. That's Shaman with a big game hunter, and Shaman already super heavily favored in this matchup with things like Earthshocks, which just kill a Twilight Drake like that, and then Hexes, which just turn Giants into frogs. And now we have a big game hunter, which instead of turning the Giant into the frog, we're just gonna shoot it.
Yeah. Like, when you have that many answers, then it's really going to be difficult for Phonetap to keep enough on the board to deal with what Decade can throw out every single turn.
Yeah.
It's really interesting to see how the game has changed. Since, this time 4 or 5 months ago, I would be making endless Shaman bot jokes. But thanks to Blizzard and their huge ban wave, I that's all out of my repertoire now. I have to just rely on the game. But getting Immortal Coil cycle here is fine, since there's really not a lot you're going to take out in Shaman with 1 health. And cycling through early is just very crucial here.
Ooh, we got the Hex. That'll be really good for the Drake, since we already have the big game hunter in hand to deal with the Drake. Not quite an Earthshock, but still a very, very good card for answering it.
Yeah, I mean, Shaman against Handlock Shaman's always felt like one of the biggest counters because of that Earthshock and the Hex. And
so do you want to Ferals this turn and overload yourself, or do you want to just totem? Because if you Ferals this turn, then for the turn 4 Giant or the turn 4 Drake, you're going to have to expend the coin to try and answer it.
That's true, but you don't have much you can do on turn 4. You're not really expecting to... you could potentially coin out a 5-drop, I suppose.
Yeah, I still like the Ferals better. Just getting something on the board. And then you answer their 4-drop with the coin Hex or the coin Big Game Hunter, and then after that you can just follow up with Defender of Argus to buff your guys out of Hellfire range. I like it a lot.
Yeah, since you're not expecting a Shadow Flame this early, this is really only weak to Hellfire, and fortunately for him, we're not seeing it in Phonetap's hand.
And a lot of Handlocks have been running 2 Shadow Flames, only 1 Hellfire.
Oh,
off the top!
Perfect.
Oh my god, no.
The skill of that draw was overwhelming.
That's gotta hurt. Like, you just cringe a little bit when you see him top deck that Hellfire there.
Yeah, it turns out the Hex would have ended up being better. It was a risk that he took, and it could have paid off so well, but
he's got to save the Hex for the Drake, because he's got Big Game Hunter can only kill Giant, and Hex can kill either, and he doesn't have the Earthshock yet.
Yeah, that's true.
Uh, I like the Loatheb here. Just one of the strongest plays on the board. Wouldn't mind seeing the Drake either.
When you're up against nothing, I feel like Drake's probably better since Loatheb could be used to stop a Shadow Flame in the future once your board is built up a little bit more.
Yeah, it's definitely that. Let's count how much health would the Drake have. That's probably relevant information.
Mm-hmm.
3, 6, 7, 8. He's gonna have 9 cards. So he plays a Drake. He's gonna have 9 health.
He could tap first as well and get 10 health.
Yeah. So Loatheb Rockbiter doesn't kill the Drake. If Loatheb Rockbiter kills the Drake, then I'd say Loatheb. But since Loatheb Rockbiter doesn't kill the Drake, I'm gonna throw out the Azure Drake. It's only weak to Dark Bomb Coil.
Yeah, and we're not seeing it yet. I feel like he's probably gonna tap first, and either go for the Dark Bomb Coil or for 4/10 Twilight Drake.
Yeah, we've already seen one coil used. A lot of handlocks don't even run 2 coils.
All right.
But yeah, definitely tap. I don't think you're ever just dropping Sylvanas onto this board. Because then they don't even have to hex it. They can just buff the Drake up and kill it. Like with a Rockbiter, anything. Maybe we're seeing Sylvanas?
You also lose potential for a future Sylvanas.
Shadow Flame, yeah. Sylvanas Shadow Flame is insane. Steals Alakir. Oh. Yeah, you're cutting out a little bit there.
Yeah, sorry about that. I for some reason my USB ports. Okay, I've been given up occasionally, but I'll try my best to stick with you. So he drops the Sylvanas. We're probably just going to see the Rockbiter, would you say? Yeah.
Yeah, Rockbiter trade and then play another Azure Drake. Didn't answer the first one, probably can't answer the second one.
Mm-hmm. And we are going to stall our best while we wait to get back into that game.
Good. How's the weather?
It's amazing. I mean, I live in Southern California. I feel you guys are in California too, right?
No, we're in Texas. It's
Texas.
Snowing. It's been snowing.
Snowing? All right. Yeah. It's been pretty warm here actually. I think it's getting up in the 80s.
Yeah, it must be nice.
Oh man, it was a brutal winter. There were some days where there'd be frost on the car when I go out in the morning.
Oh my god. I was out there with like an ice scraper and shit. And like we had to fill up a pan of hot water and dump it on the car so that we could even open the door because they're frozen shut. And you're complaining about frost.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm from I went to school in Utah, and so I'm used to the ice. I never had to do the hot water thing, but
wait, are we back?
I think we might be back.
Yeah, the game. All right, stuff happened. Now we're here, and we got a giant in play. We don't see Decades cards yet, but presumably he still has the Hex. It looks like he just cleared the board last turn and developed the Loatheb instead of the Azure Drake. So he's still got the Azure Drake in his hand, probably. We got the Mountain Giant down now, which is probably going to be Hexed. Yeah, we see the Hex. He did develop the Sun Fury there. So we get a Hex and... With the Hex, he could develop Argus if he felt like it. I think it's better just to Totem Preaver. You get more value out of the Argus. You get the full value out of the Argus.
Yeah,
I think... doesn't open yourself up to Black Knight, which is a thing that handlocks occasionally play.
Yeah, we haven't seen it yet, but we haven't seen all of Phonetap's decks, so it's definitely possible here. It's kind of one of the advantages of coming in fresh with this deck, that your opponent has no idea what you're running, as opposed to if you need a couple wins to get through it in this mode, then you can definitely start to plan against it. But both of these are fresh decks for both these players.
Yeah, I can't imagine a world where he doesn't Hex here. That'd be a. I guess he could Fire Elemental trade and save the Hex for later. Maybe that opens you up to like Siphon Soul being like really huge.
Yeah, I don't think that's better at all. You lose
Dark
your board
Bomb,
entirely after that.
Sun Fury can just kill the Fire Elemental. Yeah, I really would like to see this Hex.
Mm-hmm. You can and then you have the chance to develop minions. If you play the Fire Elemental, then you're hanging 1 mana. You don't get the Totem or the Creeper out.
Yeah. We've already seen the Hellfire, so.
But hey, you've got a full turn to think about your decision. Why speed it up? Apparently.
Like, I don't know, man. This guy's a thinker. We know that much about him. He is a thinker.
Definitely like that the Drax display from the first game, where he roped so hard he actually missed 3 damage. But I don't think in the end it would have ever mattered. I think he won the game anyway there.
Phonetap's getting bored. He's just picking up his cards.
Is that yeah?
Are
Is
we
that or is that Jin that's doing it? Or
Oh, I don't
RJ.
know.
Oh no, it's I guess it's whatever's happening. It is incredibly exciting. The pinnacle of Hearthstone play.
Oh, that's trademarked by Archon. I don't think you can use Pinnacle.
Oh no! Oh no!
I'm the only one that can say that.
CLG can't possibly afford this. I'm so glad you understood that because I feel like there's so much of the audience that want it all.
Oh man.
Okay, I feel like the turn timer probably.
Yeah, the turn's only 90 seconds long. It's been at least 2 minutes. So I think we should exit spectator mode and then re-enter the game probably.
Oh, apparently he was stall. I'm not sure. He might have been just trying to stall for us, but we'll see. We'll get back in there and see exactly who's hitting on who. Who's ahead here. I mean, it looked pretty good for the Shaman, and now it looks really good for the Shaman.
All right. Yeah, the Shaman is spiraling still. I don't know. That Twilight Drake, I guess, has been on the board, so you can still hit and Shadow Flame the Twilight Drake. Or you can hit and then play Watcher and Shadow Flame the Watcher. Well, he's got Big Game Hunter. You can just Shadow Flame the Big Game Hunter. Yeah, this is fine for the Warlock. I actually fancy the Warlock's position probably a little bit better.
Yeah. I definitely said that before I saw the hand. I was just looking at the Dr. Boom, but...
Yeah, not even any reason to Shadow Flame here. You just taunts him up his face. We haven't seen an Earthshock out of the Shaman yet, though. Oh, there it is! Speak of the devil, and he shall appear. That's going to be able to take down the Twilight Drake, which is going to give him the ability to swing back on the board. I think I could see Fire Elemental doing a lot of work here. Earthshock the Twilight Drake, Fire Elemental the Ancient Watcher, and then just running the Boombats in there. And of course, just happen to roll 3 on the Sun Fury and 2 on the Big Game Hunter, and then everything's dead.
Yeah, you have a pretty good chance of clearing the board. Even if you just get 1 on the Sun Fury, you can trade in your Argus.
For sure.
I mean, it's really back and forth. It seems to be a really even game. Shaman has the responses, but it looks like Warlock still has the cards to do it. His hand is now looking a little bit more sparse. He doesn't necessarily have the threats except for Draxus.
It looks like he's going to go with that play.
Yep.
He's going to tote up over the Haunted Creeper. And that is a lonely Haunted Creeper, man. He's just wanted to come out of the field for so long.
Yeah, at this point, you really want to favor the hero power just because you're running low on cards. And even though you do have 1 card draw mechanic, if you're expecting this to go to the late game, which you might be against a handlock, then that value's probably too much.
Oh my god, perfect Boombots. He gets there, clears the board, and hits 4 in the face. Amazing.
And there's no Molten Giant to be seen.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty tough spot for him to get his way out of.
You can't rag here or else you know it's going to hit the Skill Power Totem.
Every time.
You could anti-heal... No. What do you do?
You gotta be afraid of bursts from Shaman too. They're pretty bursty.
Shadow Flame?
Yeah, Loatheb Shadow Flame feels so bad. Loatheb heal about it like a little bit better. You gotta get more value off the Shadow Flame, I think, and Loatheb forces him to play minions, so probably extend into the Shadow Flame a bit.
I was just wondering if we were worried about that 6 damage. I mean, if you have the Flame Tongue Totem here, that's going to be 10. Crackle, unfortunately, is going to take up the rest of your mana because of the Loatheb. But you could roll up to 7 damage with that Crackle, and it still wouldn't actually be lethal.
Yeah, I don't know. You could. I'd like to see the Murloc guy probably come out. Just refresh your hand. Yeah, that is a good draw mechanic.
Oh yeah, really interesting card. It's cool to see the Murlocs get into play, even if you don't build a deck around them. For sure.
It's always fun when you get like all raid or war leaders off of it too. The Murloc leaders.
Your next turn is just throwing down like a bunch of 7/5s or whatever they end up being.
Yeah, just ridiculously strong Murlocs. Yeah, there we go. Let's get those Murlocs.
Let's see. The charge Murlocs here are also pretty nice, just to be able to push in a little bit of damage.
Looks like we got a Cold Light Oracle, a Cold Light Seer, the Hero Murloc, and a Murloc Raider.
All right. Murloc Raider, our little buddy. He's gonna come down. There he is. There he is. What does the Moz call him?
Oh god, I don't even know. He calls everything. Wait, what?
I think that little dude is an emote on Moz's channel.
I don't remember what he's called. It might be. Yeah, I have no idea. I can't keep up with all the names.
Twitch chat's gonna help us out in like.
Yeah, Twitch chat will know for sure. They love those names, man. The nicknames. Mold Giant's a really solid pickup. But
do you run in the Loatheb and Shadowflame Ancient Watcher? I feel like you're so afraid of that board.
Yeah, the 7/7 connecting to your face has got to be death.
Mm-hmm. Especially with the potential of a Crackle, which is so much burst damage, and Flame Tongue potential charge as well from the Murlocs.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, that's not the Hero Murloc. That's
No, that's the Dust Murloc.
Yeah, the Cult Master Murloc sort of guy. Yeah.
Stiltfin Spirit Walker.
Yeah, that. 100 dust. Man, it's a good card, man. Murloc Shaman.
Oh yeah, totally. You really want to spend 4 mana playing such a small body. I mean, I guess if you can draw enough off it, it must be pretty good.
You just draw your raiders, dude. Murloc war leaders.
I did Murloc Druid just because of the jokes about Murloc Druid, and I actually had like some. I took it down to like rank 10 or whatever, and then I switched to a real deck, but it was fun.
I've seen people. There's a guy named Best Murlocs or something, and he just only plays Murloc Druid, and he always hits Legend. He's like Best Murloc NA, all caps.
He's a lot more skilled than I am.
I mean, he's the best Murloc in NA. But...
Yeah. What can you expect besides that? Ooh, nothing to Shadowflame either.
Yeah, this is an easy rag hit the Ezra Drake turn.
Real easy. Real easy.
Other than that, like nothing else has too much instant effect on the board. You could try and like Jiraxis here and just Hail Mary it.
I feel like Dr. Boom's not a terrible play either. You're not facing that much damage on the board, and you have your Jiraxis later for for potential heal.
Yeah, I don't know. If you're gonna play a bomb, I'd say go with Rag. It at least has the chance to do something. Dr. Boom's doesn't have any instant effect.
Billy is his name. The little
Billy.
Billy.
There we go. We got it. That is definitely not the one you want to hit, but it does promote symmetry.
Yeah, I mean, it's as beautiful a board as ever, but unfortunately also means that your Rag is real weak here, and this Flame Tongue Totem is going to get in a lot of work.
Oh,
do you crackle the Rag, or do you hold the Crackle for face damage? To try and
just Flame Tongue Crackle and kill him?
Is that it?
6, 10, 11, 12, and then roll for 5.
Yeah, of course you totem first, so that you have the 50%. Well, so you have 12.5% chance of killing him.
See, his problem is he's hesitating with it.
You know what? He also has the Azure Drake, so that
he's got the Azure Drake, which helps a lot.
Another 25%.
See, if he would have just done it immediately, he would have won. Now he's hesitating it, and now the RNG might not go in his favor.
The clock is ticking. Come on, Decade.
He's gonna rope.
I understand his name. It's because it takes a decade to play out.
That's so good.
We finally figured it out. This is the man who roped on Jiraxis.
Yeah, takes a decade for all of his turns. He probably gets like coached by Life Coach.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Decade and Life Coach, the rope duo.
All right, I think the game might have actually frozen, but we do have word from our producer here that Decade did end up winning at the end of this decade.
Wow,
unless he does it now and I suddenly give it away. But I think it's the same thing as before, where the game did manage to freeze on us.
Oh my god. We missed the money shot, dude. The money
Number one
shot's
rule.
gone.
Never miss the money.
Yeah, number one rule: you can't miss the money shot. Oh my god, we just built up all of that entire scene in the movie. We were working on it the whole time, and just no money shot at the end.
At the climax, it just
The climax, there's nothing, no finish.
Well, really impressive from Decade, and that's actually 2-2, isn't it?
Yeah, 2-2. So it's gonna be. Wait, is it 2-2 or is it 3-2?
We haven't
3-1.
Hmm.
All right. Is we?
Let me scroll up and see.
One guy has Shaman left, and he won with Paladin, though, right? It's 2-2. Yeah, yeah. He's
Okay,
got
yeah.
So it's Paladin, or it's Shaman versus Demon Log, or that just happened. It's Shaman versus. What is the last guy's deck?
No, he just won with Shaman. It's Paladin versus
Oh,
Handlock.
Paladin versus Handlock. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Paladin
yeah,
versus Handlock, and I feel like Paladin can do really well with the equalities there.
yeah, Paladin's super favored. He's got
Uh-huh.
double equality. They got Aldors. I think there was a big game hunter in there.
Yep.
So
Yeah, we did see a big game hunter. And so that's I feel like that's actually going to be really, really good for Decade here after winning that game. Phonetap, of course, there's always a chance. When you're looking at, maybe a 60 or 65% win rate, there's always that 40 or 35% on the other, and which is exactly what we saw with the Paladin versus Warrior, with that Warrior deck being incredibly strong.
yeah, I think this is even more favored than that though. Just he also has Owl in there. Like he has enough removals for anything that the Warlock player can dish out. It's just I think he even has Harrison in the Paladin deck too. So if he connects Harrison, even if like Jiraxis, he's got an answer for it too. He's got an answer for literally everything. So as long as he takes his time, spaces out everything, I don't think there's a way he can lose this game.
Well, we'll see exactly if he lives up to what Firebat believes, or if he maybe lets you down.
Yeah,
And,
I hope he doesn't let me down, because then I can't be friends with him anymore. So that would suck.
He's ruining his chances.
It's ruining his
Friends
chances.
with the one and only Firebat.
Man.
And we'll get you the end of this series. This is the first semifinal here, the Hearthlytics Open #2. And after this, we will hop right into the second semifinal to finally bring you the final.
All right.
I think I broke the record for number of times in a sentence there.
Oh
anyway.
my, he's got the Wild Pyromancer Muster for Battle combo in his hand.
Oh, we got to see it.
It's going to happen.
Keeping Twilight Drake and Mountain Giant here, absolutely amazing. Going second as well, really, really nice.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a hand to beat Paladin, this is one that could potentially go the distance.
But
even got the coil.
Decade did get the turn 1 zombie chow for the first time. Oh, and he could even play it out again. Would you?
Yeah, I like making a dude and just spacing him out.
All right, that's fine. At least he's going to be able to play him out early, as opposed to playing him out turn 8 and losing the bolt immediately.
Yeah.
Likely just another tap here again.
Yeah. We're gonna think about it though. I mean, he could coil, could develop the Watcher.
Yeah, and you can't tap 2 turns in a row, so he can't. He does have one opportunity in these next 2 turns to play a card, and still get out that Mountain Giant.
Looks like he's going with a Watcher now, just in case he top decks an Owl or something. I guess he can Owl, kill the Zombie Chow, and Mortal Coil down the 1/1. Feel pretty good about himself.
Yeah, that would be a really nice play to get some early board control.
Let's see if he top decks the Owl, and that if his Watcher Foresight was good.
Yeah, double Mortal Coil.
Yeah, might as well use one of them now. They're also pretty good to save with Hellfire, just for finishing off 4 health things, or save with Shadow Flame. Shadow Flame, typically you do it on a 4-power minion, the Ancient Watcher. And there's a lot of 5 health minions that they have, like Sludge Belcher, for example. You can save the coil for. Whereas the dudes are probably just going to die in the AoE.
Yeah, that's true as well. Because he's going to need the AoE at some point.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be real bad if he goes for the Mountain Giant, though, because that's going to be responded to immediately by the Big Game Hunter. The Twilight Drake is definitely going to be the much safer play.
Looks like he's going to deal with this Ancient Watcher immediately, just so it's not left on the field for Shadow Flame later. Which was the risk when playing it out early, is you have the Ancient Watcher Shadow Flame combo, and now it's gone. Yeah, Drake before Giant. Just pretty standard way to play it.
I also like that he plays the Drake from the right side of his hand as opposed to the left, because it brings a little bit more mystery about what he could have in his hand. especially since Decade
yeah.
knows he kept it from turn 1, and so
Yeah,
maybe he could think it's a second giant.
maybe. I don't know. I like playing the Drake that you kept. Just let him know that that card that you kept is Drake, because they assume it's probably either Drake or Giant. And you let them know it's Drake, and they have no possible idea of knowing what the cards that you've drawn into are.
All right,
So,
all right.
I would have liked seeing the Drake from the left-hand side, but
I see. It definitely makes sense as well.
yeah, I mean,
You know that you have so much healing on this board once you get your Shadow Flame or Hellfire out there. You're not really too worried about anything.
Yeah, I could see Belcher. I could see another Drake. I could see Tap Giant, all which are really reasonable plays. Giant's going to be answered by the big game hunter.
Yeah, right away. That's going to be really, really rough for Phonetap.
You drew into a second Watcher, though, which is really key for an activator for that Shadow Flame. It would have been really sad if he just never drew an activator for it and was just stuck with, like, big minions in his hand and couldn't use it.
Yeah, sorry about that. My headset cut out once again. It's the finicky bits of a new computer. But, I mean, I think that things aren't looking too bad for Phonetap yet, even though this Mountain Giant's going to be responded to. It was at least 3 mana for 3 mana. And Decade's hand, it looks pretty well geared to respond to a handlock, but of course he has the Shadow Flame, he has the Watcher like you were talking about as well, and he does have potential responses.
Ooh, he's killing off the Drake. I like that.
Yeah, very safe to just leave nothing on the board. No potential for Power Overwhelming and Shadow Flame and any of that nonsense.
Plus, he's got another True Silver ready for... So it's just good to get that minion off the board.
Do you go for the board clear here?
If I didn't know my opponent's hand, I would probably drop Twilight Drake. Because I know they don't have an Owl, because he didn't Owl the last one, he Eldored it. It just feels strong enough. I don't know if I'd even Dark Bomb that. You can't tap that turn, but I think I might have just floated 2 mana. Just let the Drake 2 work.
Getting rid of the 4/2 also did prevent your Twilight Drake from dying to the next True Silver Champion. Because right now, if he sends it in, it's just going to be 9 damage.
Yeah, but he has straighten his like whole board, basically. But yeah, I guess that's a fair point. You know he has the other True Silver because he swung at the 1/4. So you're like, you assume he has to have another weapon following that up. So yeah, that makes sense. It's a good read by Phonetap knowing he has the other True Silver.
I mean, and Phonetap's pretty lucky to have a lot of his mid-game minions here too. Both of the Belchers.
Is he though? As well. He's got the Black Knight on the other side there.
That's right. I was looking at it more just from the overall game standpoint, but of course that Black Knight is going to be pretty strong. He doesn't opt to play down the Wild Pyromancer first, so once again we're going to leave disappointed.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna
One
happen.
day.
One day. These games, for sure.
Well, we're seeing what looks to be a pretty even game. I mean, like you're talking about with that Black Knight and with, of course, the True Silver Champion. Decade has some really, really nice answers. Oh, Hellfire.
That's the one we've been looking for.
That is it. I feel like, yeah, that's a very easy play here.
Yeah, you save the Watcher Shadow Flame for bigger things. We're still going to think about it a little bit because we got the time. We're probably not disconnected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just drew it. And so if he Hellfires, that's going to be a net 2 health. So he's going to be up at 21. And he's still going to have his 4/7 on the board. He still has a few mana to work with.
He's just thinking about all possible options here.
Yep. Taps to be safe. And I mean, I think he's looking pretty good after that Hellfire. That was such a great response to Muster for Battle.
Yeah, he's got Siphon Soul to deal with the Dr. Boom. Maybe Handlock's going to come back in this. It was looking grim for a little bit, I'm going to be honest with you, but Handlock's looking better and better every turn.
He didn't draw into a Big Game Hunter, so I think it's going to be the Siphon Soul.
Hey, what do you think about the Coil, though? You could potentially get the Big Game Hunter, and it gets rid of one of the Boombots.
Yeah, it's definitely not a bad play first, since you're going to draw off of it. It's kind of one of the number 1 rules.
Yeah. It's also like I don't know, saving coil though is pretty strong for clearing bigger things.
Yeah, yeah. Clearing whatever. You know you have some AoE as well. This is going to die to the Tissue Silver Champion, but at least you.
No. Boombot's rolling 4 instead.
Okay, okay. I see. You're a much more optimistic man than I am.
I mean, that's what always happens, right? That's how Boombot works. Deal 4 to target creature. Is that what the card says?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when my opponent plays it, I think they might have a different version of it than mine. Oh, but he may not be believing. The issue with this is it doesn't let him play out the Pilot Sky Golem if he gets the 4. Yeah. But instead, I guess he's gonna go face. If it hits 4 to face, I'm gonna
1 to face. Oh. Yeah, he looks like he made the right play there. Then he knew the Boombot was defective.
Yeah, he didn't waste the 1 damage on the Twilight Drake. He's able to get it to face.
And what are we gonna see here? We are gonna see a Belcher. We could even see like a coin, another 5-drop wouldn't be bad. Is there any way we could set up for lethal? No, we don't have like any damage at hand. We can only do 8, 9, 10. Be 4 off if we were like Belcher, coin, Loatheb to try and do a damage push. So I think being patient with it, getting the tap in is pretty solid. Not too bad.
Oh, I miss the
value.
Leroy Faceless days.
Oh my god, that's cancer. It's just pure cancer.
But I felt like it was so much fun at Handlock. Like, it was so great to have a finisher. Now you just have to outlast him and try to swing in with your giants.
Yeah. There's some people that still play Warlock decks with a finisher. Like, Dark Wanyx played his crazy combo lock with, like, Twisting Nether and Arcane Golem, double power when we faceless. And then Zalay has a version of that he played in the ESL Legendary Series as well. So there's definitely still options for it out there. That's what's great about Warlock now, is there's, like, literally, like, 10 different archetypes of Warlock. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's nice. For a time, it felt like Zoo was the only one, but now it's really, really kind of taken its shape.
For sure. Now, how much do you want to commit on the board here to play into a potential equality? That's the real question. Well, you have Loatheb too.
Yeah, if you want to play out Sludge Belcher Loatheb, I think that.
Yeah, you could set up a kind of sneaky lethal using the Owl as sort of burst next turn on the Ancient Watcher.
Mm-hmm.
So if you could set up like Loatheb and Belcher and then go face, for example, that'd be 12. You'd be at 12, and then you'd have 1 from the slime that's going to come out after he runs that guy into that. So you'd have 1 from that, 4 from that, 5 from that. You'd still be 2 off. And then, oh no, you have Argus. You'd have Argus. It sets up lethal.
Okay.
Both have Belcher and hit him in the face. You have exact lethal. He's gonna opt to tap instead.
He still has the coin. He's been sitting on that for quite some time, but he doesn't feel.
He's gonna be able to Jirax's coin.
Oh, he actually goes for the safer. Or okay.
Safer.
Sorry. No, that's yeah. I was just lost in the aggression there. You know what? Isn't it safer to just kill your opponent before he can finish you off? Isn't that really the safest bet?
I guess in a sense, this is the safest one. Unfortunately, no equality for this Wild Pyromancer. We do still have enough mana for the Wild Pyromancer Muster for Battle combo, though.
His entire turn. I mean, if he thinks he's dead, he might as well do it. Humor me.
Belcher.
Yeah, we don't have that owl anymore to get through the Belcher. He still has the tools to deal with it, but it's probably not going to be lethal after. Yeah, no way.
Savannah Shadowflame. Savannah Shadowflame 50-50 for lethal.
That's true. And if he gets the Storm Pike Champion?
Stormpike Commando.
Stormwind Champion off of the Paladin Sky Golem. He could throw it into the slime and then still lethal.
It's the Knight, not the Champion.
Stormwind Knight. Right.
And the